And let me tell you, without a doubt, hand on my heart, Meghan Markle has never actually practiced this recipe. Next up, she wants an egg and sugar. I have never put eggs or sugar in a traditional scone recipe before. It was an absolute mess. Martha Stewart was right all along. Meghan has no idea what she is doing in a kitchen. And when they finally came out, they looked like scary monsters. It looked like a weird base or a snake. It absolutely did not look like a scone. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we sip the tea, we pull back the curtain on Meghan Markle's absolute circus of a brand. Before I debut my chaotic cooking show experiment today, we absolutely have to talk about her latest product drop. These oversized, completely ridiculous, cheap matchboxes that she's desperately trying to hand out for free just to clear out her inventory. I mean, look at the promotional imagery she posted. Why on earth is she using that exact same silver tray again? Is she completely running out of staging props over there in that multi-million-dollar mansion? It is embarrassing. But the real comedy started when I opened my inbox this morning. You guys already know how much I absolutely love sharing my daily junk mail trauma with you. They say when you go through some kind of psychological trauma, it is always healthier to get it out in the open rather than keeping it bottled up inside. So, consider this section our collective group therapy. Let me walk you through the absolute desperation sitting at the bottom of her latest promotional email. She is aggressively pushing two specific bundles right now: the Garden Duo and the Cozy Duo. Now, if you watched my previous video, you are already an expert on these overpriced packages and you know exactly what kind of nonsense is packed inside them. Aren't you all just incredibly thrilled that I tracked this utterly useless, highly unimportant royal information just so it can take up valuable real estate inside your brains? But here's the absolute kicker that she thought nobody would pick up on. She is rebranding these duos to trick the public, but she is fundamentally using her own children as human shields to move product. Take a look at the receipts. The Garden Duo formulated entirely around Princess Lilibet, water lily ingredients, using her daughter to sell cheap candles and matches. The Cozy Duo formulated entirely around Prince Archie, ginger ingredients, playfully mocking or hyper-focusing on his red hair to move inventory. What has the world actually come to when a literal duchess has to use her young children to sell basic matchboxes? The whole world has gone completely nuts, I'm telling you. And then she follows it up with this incredibly pretentious Instagram post where she goes on and on about daily rituals. She literally wrote, "The Ass Ever Matchbox was designed to sit alongside the rituals you come back to every single day." Oh, give me a total break. You and I both know that the ultimate number one ritual Meghan Markle partakes in every single day is absolutely not lighting candles or sipping organic tea in a serene morning fog. Her actual deeply committed daily ritual is aggressively stalking the Wales family. She is totally obsessed with tracking the royal family's every single move. Honestly, I am just deeply shocked she hasn't released a stalker-themed candle bundle yet. I am completely convinced she is sitting in Montecito right now, counting down the days until she can drop a limited edition candle specifically for Prince William's birthday. You know she is dying to do it. Mark my words, that celebratory William candle will hit her website well before she ever bothers to make one for poor Prince Harry. And let's be totally real for a second. What would a Harry-themed candle even smell like anyway? Ugh, absolutely disgusting. Let's get to the cooking segment of this disaster, shall we? I actually went out and bought the ingredients for these stalker scones because I am dedicated to giving you guys the facts and the receipts. I am the acting CEO holding this brand together, so I had to road test this recipe myself. And let me tell you, without a doubt, hand on my heart, Meghan Markle has never actually practiced this recipe. I am not even sure the thing she posted a picture of was made using these instructions. I tried to follow her Instagram recipe exactly. I didn't want to wing it. First, she tells us to use flour, but doesn't specify what type. Classic Meghan. Absolutely zero specifics. Then, she demands an entire tablespoon of baking powder. That sounds like an insane amount, but okay, I trusted the Duchess. Next up, she wants an egg and sugar. I have never put eggs or sugar in a traditional scone recipe before, and I use recipes that actually work. Then, she tells you to dump cream into the mixture. When you mix all of this together, it becomes sticky AF. But the absolute worst part, the cardinal sin of baking? She explicitly tells her followers to knead this sticky wet dough for 5 whole minutes. Every second you knead it, it gets stickier and stickier. There is no way this creates a pastry. It was screaming out for more flour. And eventually, the dough practically cemented itself to the bench. It was an absolute mess. I was literally scooping it off the counter just to salvage it. Martha Stewart was right all along. Meghan has no idea what she is doing in a kitchen. I cooked these hideous things for her recommended 14 minutes. And guess what? They weren't even cooked. I had to put them back in. And when they finally came out, they looked like scary monsters. It looked like a weird base or a snake. It absolutely did not look like a scone. I swear I followed her recipe to the letter, and it completely failed. To prove I actually know how to bake, I immediately got out my normal, trusted recipe book. Like clockwork, my real recipe produced fluffy, moist, beautiful scones. There is absolutely nothing wrong with my baking. There is only something wrong with Meghan Markle. She is the common denominator in every single failure. My entire afternoon was wasted, and her stalker scones went straight into the garbage bin. Please, whatever you do, do not make a Meghan Markle recipe. If she ever puts out a cookbook, I will road test every single page just to show you what a sloppy mess it all is. Let's look at the sheer, unadulterated narcissism driving this entire as ever lifestyle collection. If you map out the current candles she has pushed onto the market, a very clear, very hilarious pattern starts to emerge. Meghan Markle currently has not one, but two entire candles dedicated entirely to herself. First, she has her birthday candle. Second, she has her wedding-themed candle. Because of course she does. Forget poor Prince Harry, that entire multi-million-dollar royal wedding spectacle was 100% about her, and she is going to make sure you buy a candle to remember it. But it gets even weirder when you look at how she treats the rest of her household. She has a candle dedicated to Lilibet, packed with water lily extracts. And then she has a candle dedicated to Archie, which she chose to scent with ginger. I mean, can we talk about the blatant, low-key bullying happening right there? The poor kid has red hair, so her immediate corporate branding instinct is to make his entire identity smell like a gingerbread man. It is so incredibly obvious. This little experiment has brought me to a final, definitive conclusion. Meghan Markle is not a leader, she is absolutely not a chef, and she isn't really good at anything at all. Except, of course, being an absolute professional freeloader. Alright, guys, pull up a chair because we need to pause the Matchbox madness and talk about something truly unhinged hidden right inside her promotional photos. In our previous breakdowns, we caught a glimpse of this completely ridiculous, over-stylized teapot sitting on the staging tray. At first glance, you might think, oh, it's just another multi-thousand-dollar prop Meghan is using to show off her supreme wealth. Because let's be real, she loves playing the Richie Rich archetype to flash wealth that actually belongs entirely to Prince Harry's inheritance. But I decided to do some serious digging. I literally sat down and Googled this exact piece of earthenware because it looks so fundamentally basic yet incredibly forced in the shot, and oh my goodness, what I uncovered proves that this woman is operating on a level of calculated signaling that is beyond belief. If you think there are coincidences when it comes to the Montecito layout, you are out of your mind. This item isn't just a random kitchen prop, it is officially called the Cinderella teapot. Let that sink in for a second. What are the actual statistical chances that out of millions of teapots on the market, she just happens to stage her cheap drop-shipped matches next to an item named after a fairy tale princess? This is textbook psychological signaling. Very recently, she has been on an absolute corporate warpath trying to force the media to recognize Lilibet's official princess title. She incorporated this stupid-looking ceramic thing, which literally looks like a basic pumpkin for the sole purpose of subliminally shouting to the world, "Look at my family, we are royal, my daughter is a princess." Let's look at the absolute comedy of her shopping logic. She completely screens the names of household products before buying them just to feed her royal obsession. I bet you anything she's already planning a staged paparazzi photo of Lily holding a Cinderella doll just to drive the point home. That is how deep the delusion runs over there. And the irony is completely blinding. She is using a fairy tale princess theme to sell matchboxes, while simultaneously clapping back at Prince William with her burnt scone photos. Honestly, with the amount of dry wood paneling inside that unrenovated Montecito mansion, she shouldn't be allowed anywhere near an open flame. Harry better keep an industrial fire extinguisher strapped to his waist at all times. You have to look at this whole bizarre setup and ask yourself, Is she actually okay? Has anyone checked on her recently? Because looking at this chaotic website display, I think we all collectively know the answer. Her mind is completely boggling. Before we get any deeper into her online storefront scams, we need a massive update on the international real estate front, specifically the legendary saga of Frogmore Cottage. Because let's never forget just how spectacularly ungrateful Harry and Meghan actually are. Once upon a time, the late Queen gifted them this beautiful property. But of course, a historic, royal approved cottage wasn't nearly good enough for the supreme tastes of Meghan Markle, was it? Let's be honest, nothing is ever good enough for her, including Harry himself, though his brain is moving way too slow to have worked that out just yet. The second they moved in, they got straight down to demanding a massive, multi-million-dollar renovation. And who paid for it? The British taxpayers, courtesy of the sovereign grant. Because why on earth should a multi-millionaire prince and his Hollywood wife dig into their own pockets when they can just treat the public like a personal piggy bank? Well, the public caught wind of it. The outrage blew up, and the people practically marched to the palace shouting, "Show me the money." In a hilarious turn of events, they were forced to pay back every single penny. Back then, Harry actually had a decent stockpile of cash from his inheritance. Not so much anymore, but back then he did, and he reluctantly cut the check. Right after that financial hit, they skipped town to Canada and the US, and we all know how that train wreck went. For the last 3 whole years, Frogmore Cottage has sat completely vacant. No one wanted to set foot inside because of the sheer toxic bad vibes left behind. But look at the absolute poetic justice happening right now. Headlines are officially confirming that the royal family is planning a $3 million reverse renovation on the property. They are literally spending millions of dollars just to undo everything Harry and Meghan touched. They are winding back the clock to act like the Sussex era never even happened. Can you imagine how absolutely furious Meghan must be sitting in California right now? The palace is basically photoshopping them out of the royal real estate portfolio. They are racing them brick by brick, and you know the official titles are next on the chopping block. Let's look at the actual list of ridiculous changes the palace is aggressively ripping out. The structural upgrades. They originally replaced defective ceiling beams. Speaking of completely defective things, can we replace Harry and Meghan too while we're at it? The bathroom obsession. They tore down interior walls to build a massive 5-bedroom residence complete with multiple ensuite bathrooms. We already know these two are completely obsessed with toilets. Their Montecito mansion has something like 16 or 18 bathrooms. It is so unbelievably excessive, but honestly, it makes total sense because these two produce so much absolute garbage that they probably need a toilet every 2 steps just to keep up. The luxury additions. They put in a grand fireplace with custom alcove bookcases for all the books Meghan never actually reads. They installed an elaborate double staircase, just because they wanted to look dramatic, and a private yoga studio that I can only assume was built for Doria, because Meghan certainly isn't doing any Zen yoga these days. The ultimate pretension. They painted the interior walls with specialized vegan paint. I mean, give me a total break. Meghan Markle actively eats meat, so what an absolute pretentious waste of time and money. They even hired a Soho House designer to curate the vibe and installed a freestanding copper bathtub. Who do these two actually think they are? They are a complete joke. The absolute peak of comedy? Just a few weeks after Harry dropped his infamous Winefest book Spare, King Charles spectacularly evicted them from the property. It was easily one of the best moves the royal family has made in decades. And now, they aren't just booted out. Their entire design aesthetic is being physically demolished. There will be absolutely zero trace of those two left in that house. But let's be real. Even after the construction crews are done ripping out the copper tubs, the palace is going to need to sage that property within an inch of its life. We are talking truckloads of sage shipped in from every corner of the globe just to purify, cleanse, and burn away the lingering toxic energy. Honestly, even with the structural cleansing, I still wouldn't move in there. They have permanently tainted the very name of Frogmore Cottage. The funniest contradiction in all of this is looking at how they behave when it's their own money on the line. They felt the absolute need to aggressively renovate a royal gift when taxpayers were footing the bill. But take a look at their $14 million Montecito kitchen from the real estate listings before they bought it. They have those dusty, disgusting old pots and pans hanging right over the top of the food preparation counter. And guess what? Harry and Meghan were perfectly happy to leave them exactly as they are. It proves the ultimate truth about their psychology. They demand maximum luxury when other people are paying for it. But the second they have to swipe their own credit card, suddenly everything is completely fine as it is. Typical Harry and Meghan, always hunting for a free ride. Thank goodness this historic cottage will get a second chance at life. Let's hope one of Prince William's kids ends up living there one day. Someone who actually respects the crown and deserves the space. It is the ultimate slap in the face to the Sussexes, and I am absolutely here for it. Let's move right along to the absolute circus happening on her retail website, because she has been frantically clogging up the internet with her daily marketing dribble. She posted a brand new promotional graphic on Instagram, and let me just read you the actual agonizing marketing fluff she wrote. She announced, introducing our new curated sets featuring the limited edition as ever Matchbox. Small details for setting the mood, thoughtfully designed for slow mornings, quiet evenings, and the moments in between. I am rolling my eyes so hard right now they might get permanently stuck. Thoughtfully designed for slow mornings and quiet evenings? Let's dissect the absolute delusion of that sentence. Of course, Harry and Meghan are experts on slow mornings and quiet evenings. Neither of them have actual day jobs. They have absolutely nothing to do all day. Let's break down the sheer audacity of these priced out packages. The Morning Ritual Bundle, $110. For a casual 110 bucks, she claims you can buy a bright start to begin your day. But when you look at the visual arrangement with those long matches, it looks like she's advising you to have a cigarette for breakfast. Start your day with a ciggy is the real message here. And what candle do you get to kick off your day? Her official wedding day candle? Because of course, the absolute first thing I want to do when I open my eyes in the morning is sit in a dark room and reminisce about Meghan Markle's wedding. Why on earth would any sane person want to do that? The Garden Duo Bundle, $128. When you hear the words garden duo, you'd naturally assume the package includes a starter shovel, maybe some flower seeds or gardening gloves, right? Oh no, absolutely not. It is literally just two standard candles with a box of matches shoved onto the side tray. Calling two wax jars a garden duo is so hilariously lazy. It has zero to do with an actual garden. As I add everything up here, which you always have to do with Meghan because her business practices are incredibly dodgy, it becomes perfectly clear what's happening. No one was buying her old individual inventory, so she took her slow-moving stock, threw in a $1 box of wholesale matches, labeled them free, and is praying that this cheap tactic tips you over the edge to hit add to cart. Good luck with that one, Duchess. If you want to make sure you never miss another deep dive, another recipe road test, or another royal call out, make sure to absolutely smash that like button and subscribe to the channel right now. I am going to keep these highly entertaining exposes coming your way consistently. Thank you all so much for the incredible support. Have an amazing night, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.